Hey, I'm Neurosurgeon Kazu.
Modern medicine has given us a remarkable gift, the very real possibility of living to be 100 years old. But surviving an entire century isn't automatically a blessing. Consider one path of aging. A 100-year-old wakes up, walks down the stairs on their own 2 feet, and shares a morning conversation with their grandchildren, entirely independent. Then look at the alternative. Another centenarian lies in a hospital bed, kept alive by feeding tubes and ventilators, staring at the ceiling, unable to recognize the family members sitting right next to them. This sharp divide between an active, joyful life and a bedridden existence doesn't come down to random luck. It traces back to a single physiological system that our most advanced medical technologies still struggle to repair. Keeping a body breathing is no longer the ultimate challenge for doctors. The true objective now is ensuring you survive with your autonomy and your identity completely intact. We can look at Japan to see this play out on a national scale. It holds one of the highest average lifespans in the world, which looks like a massive public health victory on paper. But longevity alone hides a critical metric known as health span, the actual number of years a person can move energetically and live without requiring daily hands-on care. This chart shows the contrast between total lifespan and health span. On average, there is a massive 10-year gap between the time we lose our physical independence and the end of our lives. That is an entire decade of lost autonomy. Millions of people who spent their lives dreading the idea of becoming a burden to their children eventually fall blindly right into this exact trap. If you want to define the quality of your final years, preventing this 10-year bedridden trap is the single most important action you can take. The ultimate decider of whether you walk or lie in bed for that final decade is the health of your brain. Specifically, strokes, whether a blockage or a bleed, are the primary thieves of physical independence. This diagram illustrates exactly what a stroke does. When a blood vessel in the brain experiences a sudden blockage, called an infarction, or ruptures in a hemorrhage, the surrounding tissue starves of oxygen and rapidly darkens as it dies. Unlike broken bones, brain cells resist regeneration. Once neural pathways go dark, they rarely reconnect. The damage is effectively permanent. Because of this biological limit, the aftermath lingers long after the emergency room. Even when doctors successfully stabilize the patient and save their life, physical paralysis and severe speech impediments usually remain. The brain cannot simply be fixed after it breaks. The traditional medical mindset of waiting for a problem to appear and then trying to cure it fails completely when it comes to neurology. The root causes of this damage, things like vascular aging and high blood pressure, are completely silent. They progress over years, stiffening your arteries without producing a single noticeable symptom. Because the threat is silent, it surfaces without warning. When that happens, knowing the FAST framework is your only emergency defense mechanism. The first half of the acronym covers the immediate physical signs. F stands for a drooping face, where one side sags, and A is for an arm that suddenly goes weak and cannot be raised. This grid breaks down the rest of the warning signs. S stands for slurred or confused speech, and T stands for time. If even one of these symptoms appears, it is time to call an ambulance immediately. In neurology, time is literally brain tissue. Recognizing these signs the second they happen is the only way to minimize catastrophic, irreversible damage. Relying on emergency medicine is a last resort. We have to shift our entire approach away from the comfort of curing diseases after the fact and adopt a strict discipline of preventing them from ever happening in the first place. Proactive medical strategies now allow us to look inside the brain before disaster strikes. Specialized screening programs, often called brain docs, use MRI scans to discover hidden threats, like unruptured aneurysms or silent microscopic infarctions, so doctors can treat them before they trigger a major stroke. Your daily physical routine is just as important as medical screening. You can manage blood pressure and keep your blood from thickening by eating a low-salt diet, doing 15 minutes of daily exercise, and drinking water frequently. You can also actively clear waste from your brain by getting around 7 hours of sleep a night. During the day, taking up new hobbies or engaging in deep conversations stimulates your neural networks, keeping the brain agile. Living a long time means nothing if you don't have the quality of life to enjoy it. Committing to these preventative steps today is how you ensure you walk into your final years under your own power.